Here you see images of the original inhabitants, the aboriginals of the Americas, the copper-colored races of the Americas. As you see, these are the people that they call Negro or African American today, the American Indians. And when you see these images, they are Negroes and they have afros, a lot of them. Look at Montezuma of Mexico, for instance. The use of the terms Negro and Black to include persons of Native American ancestry in Anglo North America by Jack D. Forbes. It says in 1854, the California State Supreme Court sought to bar all non-Caucasians from equal citizenship and civil rights. It says the word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include all black persons. Okay? And then it says the black person in the 14th section must be taken as distinguished from white and necessarily includes all races other than the Caucasian. Okay, so let's skip down. It says the possibility that Native Americans were quite commonly called Negroes is very much supported by the Portuguese usage during the colonial period. Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negroes or Negros da Terra, Negroes of the land. A great many examples from the 16th and later centuries are cited by George Frederick Ritchie in his analysis of Portuguese sources. These do not have to be repeated here, but suffice to say that it was so common that finally in 1755 a royal decree had to be issued as follows. Among the regrettable practices which have resulted in the disparagement of the Indians, one prime abuse is the unjustifiable and scandalous practice of calling them Negroes. Perhaps by doing so, the intent was no other than to induce in them the belief that their origins, that they had been destined to be slaves of whites. Okay, as you see that this article, it was taken from Indian Country Today, and its title is 6 Shocking Facts About Slavery, Natives, and African Americans. Well, as we know, the so-called African Americans, they are the Aborigines, they are the Aboriginals, the original American Indians that are copper-colored, and that the natives that they're speaking of are the people that came from Siberia about 10,000 years ago. Okay, so now the book says that the blood stay pure by Arica Coleman. And it says, according to her book, her 2013 book, that the blood stay pure, the term's origins can be traced to medieval Italy, where it was classified of a skin color, not race. Additionally, Europeans often refer to indigenous populations of their communities as Negroes. So any indigenous person, no matter where they were, whether if they were in America, Africa, Asia, or Europe, they considered the indigenous, the aboriginals of the land as Negroes. That's basically what she's saying. It says, additionally, Europeans often refer to indigenous populations of their communities as Negroes, and the Portuguese colony of Brazil, Indians were called Negros da Terra, meaning Negroes of the land. Coleman pointed out during the conference that the early Virginia legislature identified Moors and Negroes separately. There is also documentation in which individuals were described as Negro African. Coleman questioned why the words could be used to describe an African person and suggests the native meaning as a strong possibility. Dr. Coleman also asserts the year 1619 isn't entirely correct regarding the first arrival of blacks to America. She notes Negroes accompanied Spanish North American expeditions a century before the English arrived in Virginia. Okay, so there it is. She's making a clear distinction between the two groups of people. And she's letting you know that they listed Americans, the American Indians, the indigenous people as Negroes, as Negros Da Terra. And then they have referred to African people as Negro Africans.
The history of the Pokanoket tribe actually was the headship tribe of what you call the Wampanoag Nation today. But when the English came to this country, this whole area was known as Pokanoket country, or King Philip country later on. Any map prior to the King Philip War will stay right on in Pokanoket country. So Wampanoag is a name that was given to us during the King Philip War, around the year 1675, 1676, when the colonists outlawed the word Pokanoket and made it illegal for you, if you were male 14 years of age or older, to say you were Pokanoket.
Hey, that's a piece of my language. My name is Paul Walpi Neapog, and I am the Sagamore of the Council 7 Royal House, Pokanoket tribe of the Pokanoket Nation. I'm also the Superior Chief of FANA, which is the Federation of Aboriginal Nations of America, in which capacity I represent a little over 5,000 Indians going down the East Coast of the state of Virginia. I'm here today to repatriate the lands of the Massasoit back to its heirs and original people. We've done everything possible by law to engage the powers that be in this state, and it's like we're just an invisible tribe. We don't exist. So this is an effort on our part to bring our plight to the eyes of the public, and a lot of people know the history here. There isn't a clear title to anything in this land here.
These are the Pokanoket peoples, which are now called Wampanoags. And as you look at these Indians would have been renamed Negroes by the British, the Spanish, and the Portuguese.